We are back here today, the Baseline Podcast, Season 3, Episode 12, with none other than Silvio De Sousa. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. It's a
Yes,
pleasure.
sir.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. So Silvio from Angola,
Yeah.
he went to the States at 14 years old, not knowing any English,
Not
correct?
knowing English. Yeah. just me in Portuguese.
So he started off at Montverde, played there for a couple of years for freshman and sophomore year of high school, and then went over to IMG for his junior and senior year of high school before going to Kansas.
Yeah.
Had Kansas for 2 years and then to
Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then from Chattanooga, he started his pro career in France, went to Greece, played some Euro Cup, and then now with Kiryat Ata this year.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well done.
And so, yeah, it's been a journey, man. And it's it has been great, a blessing, and it has been a journey of just a lot of learning experience, you say, but I wouldn't change it for none.
Yes, sir. And we have a very interesting story today. Silvio has one like no other, and we're going to get into all of it.
For sure. We'll get into it. I like to really every episode at the beginning to take it back. And you have obviously very unique story. And a lot of the guys will ask you, oh, when did you start playing basketball? Like, some say I was 3 years old. Some said I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
But your story, I'm guessing, is very different. So tell us a little bit about that, how you've grown up and how much was sport involved in your life. And at what point was basketball like the sport that was involved in your life?
So I want to say, because being born in Angola, right? Things are complete like difficult back in Angola, and it's a happy place. Africa is a happy place in general. People are always happy despite the struggle of living and whatnot. But in Angola, just me being born there, and I started playing soccer though. I was actually soccer was my first love, and I played a lot. And I was growing too tall. So people say, well, you're growing too much. And my mom was just, Silvio, man, you're not doing anything after school. Because I would go to school in the morning and then come the rest of the afternoon, I'm just at home doing nothing. And so she decided that basketball should be something to keep me busy, not for like to be what it is right now. But it was just meant to keep me busy. She signed me up for a team, and I started going. I hated it, didn't like it. And I was bad, man. I was trash. So I started 11 years old or 10 years old. I started playing basketball, and I didn't like it. But then, it became the only thing I would be doing, just basketball. I forgot about soccer, and it was just basketball after basketball. And, I started taking it very seriously, mainly after I joined the national team. This was my very first time, and it was just like when, okay, maybe my life could be different if I start taking it seriously. And I also, I would go to practice with the team and, trying to get better, and I would play a lot of basketball with old people, not old people, but like people older than me in the streets and stuff, just to kind of get a better feel for it. And that helped me tremendously. And thanks to that, I think I'm the player I am today. And so, yeah, it was one hell of a journey. Looking back, it kind of like, I'm thankful that that's the life I had. And now I'm in a position where I look back, I'm like, wow, it was crazy. But now we're here. So, but yeah, then after that, joined the national team a couple of times and won the Afrobasket under 16 my first time, won it. Then under 18, I won as well, and went to a few World Cups and with the junior team as well. And then I went to I think when we went to Dubai in 2014 for the World Cup under 19 or 18, one of those two. And I think that's where I had a really good run there, and people saw me and my brother. Well, I call brother my best friend Bruno Fernando, and that's when the offers from high schools and whatnot in the States started coming, even in Spain. Because I remember at first it was either I go to Spain and stop playing professional at that such a young age, or I go to the U.S. and continue to pursue my my career and school. I remember talking to my mom. It was like, yeah, my mom said, listen, I'll let you do that if you're gonna continue to study, but if it's just for the basketball or money, then it's not worth it. And I decided to go to the U.S. at the age of 14, very young, left everything behind, went there by yourself, and you just, basically learn life again.
What was that? What was that process like? Actually choosing Montverde, going there.
It was. At first, I didn't know what to expect because the U.S. at the time was just how I would see in the movies. It's all sweet, all nice, but it was very difficult in a way that not having your family there, not having somebody that you can speak Portuguese with, because I didn't know English. I remember people would come up to me and ask my name, and I would say yes, and people would try to talk to me, and it was very hard, and just like being far away from everything I knew, and have to learn the culture, have to learn how people, just get by over there, and it was difficult, but I'm glad I had basketball because basketball is one hell of a community, man. It just brings you a lot of people that you don't expect, and great ones, and I had some great teammates who actually helped me a lot with my English, and to this day I'm still thankful. But it was very difficult being away from my family for 5+ years after that, and it just turned out to be a great experience in general.
Did they kind of volunteer that they said they would help you with your English? Was that part of the process? And
it was definitely part of the process because I was enrolled at school as well, and I was taking English classes as just something to build up, learn the language, and then take major classes that I would need in college. So it was just English for the first two years or first 1 year, however long it took. But it didn't take me long until I learned the language. So, but it was just that difficult being in the school, especially Montverde is in Florida. So there's a bunch of Brazilians in Florida, and most of the students on campus were from Brazil. And so it was Portuguese all over the place, but we couldn't speak it because then you get in trouble. So that made it more difficult than anything. So
why would you get in trouble?
It was just school rules. So
really?
That's kind of weird.
So we had a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Latinos, a lot of Spanish and Portuguese speaking people on campus. But if you get caught speaking anything other than English, then you're in trouble.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was difficult, but then I was just, at the end of the day, I knew what I was there for, basketball, and just learn the language, have the basics, at least that's what I was aiming for. Just learn a little bit, and then everything else will be fine.
At this time, is Bruno doing something similar?
Yeah,
at
same
the same
thing.
Time?
Same. We were
both
both
doing
in
contact?
Yeah, that's my guy.
I'm saying at that time in high school, are you guys in contact?
But we would have to be talking like on the phone, but in Portuguese, because not like looking at each other. We just chilling, and then we're speaking Portuguese, maybe without somebody seeing us.
But he was there at Montverde with you.
We went through the same steps through it all together.
Really?
Yeah,
and then
until college.
And then junior year, he also went to IMG with you.
Yeah, so we went there as well.
That's really cool.
We have been together since we were very little. So.
And then that process from Montverde going to IMG, what made that change happen?
I think I was just done with that school. It was a place that it was good for the learning stage of it, the basketball aspect of it, to open new doors. But once the chapter was done, it was done. It was just I just didn't want to be in a school where I feel like it was a prison for me, because it was very strict at school. Oh yeah, it was crazy. So my sophomore year, at the end of the season, everybody left. It wasn't just me or Bruno. It was like literally all my teammates left. Really? Because majority of the teammates were Canadian, so everybody left the school. I was like, I don't think we should stick here. Then we got a call from a college, a call from a IMG coach, Coach Vince. Loved that coach, and he gave us an opportunity to be there. We had many others, but IMG was already in Florida, so we said, hey, we love Florida, so why live in Florida? And we decided to stay.
How was IMG?
Hey, IMG, I have been to a lot of college campus. I don't think majority of those college campuses look like IMG. IMG is different.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, you're not listening, but IMG is crazy. Like, the craziest place I've probably been in the U.S. as far as schools. Does that make sense? So it's just like great experience. You don't have to dress up like back in the 90s or whatever, like many high schools does. You have to have like a dress code for it, but you wear whatever you want. You do whatever you have. You have all kind of foods on campus. You walk freely. You have two main campuses that we would call the West and the South or whatever it's called. So it was just two campuses. It was huge. We had 3 football fields. We had 14 soccer fields, 11 tennis courts, 3 whatever golf courses and stuff. It was insane.
Beautiful dorms.
Beautiful, bro. It was like a huge resort. So you just everything is there. You don't, even if you want to leave, maybe you want to leave to go to the beach, walk around, whatever. But everything was inside the campus.
So what about the actual basketball from Mount Verde to IMG? So you play on the national team for a long time, and then you come to these high schools. And what are the main differences you need to get used to? Are they teaching you how to play basketball in a different way? Are they like working on specific skills that you need to work on? What's the process like in these schools that aren't they're schools, but they're more training, facilities?
Yeah, I think for me, basketball wise, it's the training was definitely, like I'll say, the difference between IMG and Mount Verde is that at IMG you have more resources available to you as far as taking care of your body, weight room, all the stuff. We have it there. It's all included. And Mount Verde is there. The team was great because Coach Boyle, who is the head coach there, is still probably, I don't know. And he would always bring like great players, guys that actually can like hoop. And I was just so fortunate to be on 2 of the teams that we were always like, okay, number 1 in the nation. And at the time, I was also top 5 player in the nation. So it was just like, it made so much easier for us to have whatever run we had at the time for 2 years, and it was great. But when I got to IMG, it was more like, we're training like a professionals here. It's the basket. So Mount Verde was just about raw talent. You just hooping, doing like what you like, born with the talent. You showcase your talent. And that IMG was a lot of professional level training, getting your body ready. You have those nutritional schedules, and you have those recover, whatever else you need to do for your body, just like preparing you for the next level. That's what it was, and it really did. So that was the huge difference I noticed. And at the time, not that I cared back then, but I didn't care. I was young. So my body, if I'm hurt today, tomorrow I'm fine. But looking at it and how much we did over there, it just helped me a lot. Once I got to college, it made it so much easier to know that that's how professional work.
At IMG, you guys, in your senior year, you have the basketball, you have the tournaments, the season, and everything, and you said you're training like professionals.
Yeah.
Now, how does the school help you in the recruiting process for college?
I think so. When I was IMG, no, the coaches were well-known guys with the college coaches as well. And so every so often, we would have college coaches coming in and would just watch practice. They just there for practices, watching a lot of practices, watching a lot of the games. And I think that boosts your recruiting status or whatever, however you want to say. And then it makes things much easier when, okay, if you're good and coaches are here to watching you like firsthand, then it's a one hell of a jump instead of just being the AAU kind of thing that helps you boost you. Yeah. But they always on campus because our coach would invite those coaches to come watch practice and see those players. So that's that was a huge part of it. And besides that, it was just like when I got to IMG, we also had a because before basketball, IMG was known for being a tennis, golf, and football school. That's it. Basketball, forget it, man. We had some good players coming through for basketball, but it wasn't that. But that year, I transferred there. We had Emmett Williams. We had Trevon Duval. We had Kiryat Johnson. We had like really good players. And then after that, basketball was just like, okay, let's talk about basketball at IMG. It's crazy. The team was crazy.
You can't forget Silvio De Sousa. Also have him on there.
Yeah, but so it was great. It was great. Just how to see how much, the transformation from my freshman and sophomore comparing to my junior and senior year. Of course, there will be change because you growing. But other than that, it's just like talking about being professional, being ready for the next level. IMG had me there.
Right.
IMG
And you end up committing and going to Kansas for 2 years. And in that first year at Kansas, you're playing with guys like Devontae Graham.
Yeah.
And I always mess up his name, but Sviatoslav Mikalik and Azubuike as well. So playing alongside these guys, you're already kind of used to it in a sense at IMG. How is it adapting to that college? Did it make it easier being at IMG?
It was still, I think the hardest thing for me at the time was because I remember having my last high school game on the December 24th or December 22nd, one of these two, because I had a tournament somewhere in South Carolina, and then and it was a Chick-fil-A tournament, so I went there. I had a crazy tournament there, so I was good then. And then 3 days later, I was like, okay, I'm done. Because I was done with school in my first semester. I was like, I'm not done. I'm just playing basketball. And it got to the point where one time I was in my dorm and I sat down. I was like, okay, high school is too easy for me. And I'm done with school, so I'm just here playing basketball, and it's too easy now. And that's when I decided. I told my coach, listen, coach, I think I want to reclassify and just graduate early and go to college, because that's where I need to be at this time. And I was like, okay. And I remember as well, because I was class 2018, so Marvin Bagley was in my class, and he was always number 1 in my class, and I was number 2. And we never got to play against each other, so it was always just, I want to play against this guy. But then he also graduated early and went to Duke.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I guess, one guy I want to play against, he just keeps skipping. He's not like, we're not facing each other. So I was like, okay, I'm done with high school for real. Then December 26th, I was on KU.
So you joined them 2017, 2018, right?
Yeah.
So that was the Final Four year?
Yeah.
So how does that experience like? Because we talked to a lot of guys. Some make it to the tournament, some don't. But not only did make it to the tournament, you're all of a sudden at the Final Four. So tell us a little bit about that experience and the tournament as a whole. And then kind of the Final Four is normally played in like a huge football stadium, right? Yeah. So what's that like to kind of go from one high school to another high school, and then kind of all of a sudden you're in like the biggest stage and all?
Yeah, it's I would say I was thrown in the middle. I threw myself in the middle of the season, coming from a high school game to a college game, and I'm like, yo, what? This is crazy. Yeah. Getting used to the campus, getting used to the hype, getting used to whatever the fuck that. Excuse my French.
No, you can curse.
Whatever the college brought to me at that time, it was just like, it was a lot for my brain to compute, but at the same time I knew what I was there for. I was there to hoop, and that was it. That's all I care about. I care about basketball and doing my school was doing great, so I didn't care about nothing else. But when we made it to the Final Four, it was the craziest experience I ever had in college. It was one of the best, and that's something I carried on for so long, even when I left KU, when I went to Chattanooga. Chattanooga hadn't won the conference tournament. I don't know how long, how many years, 10 years probably. got there. We had a great year. We won the tournament, and I told my teammates, listen, you think the college season is great? Just wait until you make it to the Final Four. You make it to the NCAA tournament. It's a whole lot of, like a whole different experience, and it was just great. Final Four, especially, the best experience I ever had on the basketball court for sure.
What's that like in the NCAA tournament, where kind of the whole attitude is that any team can beat any team and the craziness of it? And do you feel that when you're in the moment, like, wow, anything can happen?
Oh yeah, you moving with caution, because like, okay, we don't hear about this team much, but we obviously we're playing against them, and you could be just another big school that got beat by a small or not very known school. So it was always just like, okay, we're playing. I don't care we playing. We don't care who we playing. We're gonna come cut the snake head off. It don't matter what. So it was just always the plan. Play with your heart. Give your heart your everything, and just try to be you.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the attitude of a place like Kansas, which is one of these, like,
oh, yeah.
You kind of feel that. And even when you go into the rest of your time there, it's such one of these programs that are, you could tell me, but it's similar to everything is basketball.
So the thing is, when you go to a place like Kansas, which there is no place like Kansas, let me just be clear, okay? But when you go to schools that have, winning is all they know, being successful, having a successful season, is the whole history of the club. I mean, James Naismith started at Kansas. Basketball started there, so everything just. And when you have a school that has this beautiful history, you have a lot of pressure, and pressure is great, because I always say pressure only make diamonds. And so when you have those things, you just like, okay, I have this pressure on, and it's a good pressure to have, because now I'm playing with my heart, and I'm not just here to fuck around and just be another player. I'm here to make sure this year is special for those fans who have been a fan for 50+ years, 20+ years. So you just there with your heart, because you know that you have a lot of support, and you have everything that you need. So you just basically just go out there and play.
Yeah, amazing.
No, you play there for 2 years at Kansas. We had a little bit of a problem, like the Kansas State game.
Oh, it's crazy.
Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the funniest thing now for me is just, my wife, she plays soccer at K-State. So it's the craziest thing. But I think, I always looking back, and people always tend to come up to me and be like, okay, do you like talking about it? I'm like, hey, I don't care to talk about it. I'm cool with it. If whoever has a problem with it, I don't care. But again, being young, it was a great learning experience, because that changed my whole life, my whole way of approaching things, of just being on the court, being tempted, because I have always known that doesn't matter where I play or where I am, I will always be the target, because I'll tend to be the biggest guy on the court. It doesn't matter. So people will always come for me and try those things. But I'm just glad that experience, that fight at KU gave me the time and the opportunity to learn how to control myself in those situations, because I've had players even after that fight, I'm on the court, and players, they wanna talk, they wanna start some shit just to see my reaction. But now I have a better control of it, and it was crazy, man. Shit, I remember just waking up after that, getting a lot of hatred messages on social media all over the place. My face being posted all over the sports place. It was crazy. But I didn't feel any type of way besides just that, knowing that, okay, this is a great learning moment for me. So the only thing I took from it is just I know how to control your emotions. I know it took over that time, but I was young still. But it's not an excuse. But I was young, not an excuse. But it gave me the chance to be who I am today on the court, especially when I'm under a lot of pressure.
And then the whole thing with the receiving the money at Kansas, is that happening at around that time in the second year?
Yeah, it happened before.
Oh, it happened before that.
Yes.
And then you were able to play, but we gotta talk about it here. So
because I didn't play my whole sophomore year because of the NCAA. So NCAA is just they a piece of shit.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it. So you were the last amateur. Yeah. Which is what we call the last NCAA student athlete who was punished for receiving money from a shoe company.
Right.
Prior to the implementation of the name, image, and NIL. Right. And you got suspended for taking an alleged $2,500 payment from an Adidas executive who was later deemed as a booster to the program. Yeah. Now, at the same time, Kansas just signed, they re-upped their sponsor with Adidas for $196 million.
Yeah.
So how was that? How are you able to kind of control that in your mind and talk us through that process?
You know, just I think I was able to get through or persevere through those times because I have always known the truth, and I think what made me so calm in those moments is that I knew the truth. I knew I never got any payment. I don't know, people told me, people that I was close to, that they assumed they got paid on my behalf. They told me once that they never got paid. So I was calming me. Now I had that calm with me, but that whole NCAA, I think it was just it was just another player that they want to screw over. So and especially being from Africa, that tends to be a thing. Seems like, and they just want to get another one. And I was able to have support. I had at Kansas people. The team was always behind me. Hired some really good attorneys and stuff that was able to have my eligibility back. So it was all just another NCAA scandals that they wanted to do and screw another student athlete of it. So that didn't work out. Well, it did to an extent, but it didn't affect me a lot mentally as they probably expected it to. So I was able to persevere, have those moments, took and learning, and I knew what I was doing. I knew what I knew my value, and I knew that I didn't take anything from anyone. So that really didn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's true. And now it would have been a completely different conversation.
Oh, nah. Now I look back, I'm like, this fuckers. Because it was the year right after I left, I was done with college. That's when they started doing
That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
Y'all got me effed up.
That's a joke.
So then after the second year at Kansas, you end up transferring to Chattanooga. Yeah. Did this have anything to do with that?
Yes, majority of it has to do with that because I really did not want to leave Kansas. Kansas, I'm telling you, Kansas is a special, man. It's a special place, and that's why I say there's no place like Kansas because the experience is unique. The love and support you players get there is completely different, and just having to sit down and talk to my coaches, and they didn't want me to leave as well. Just having to sit down and tell my coach, I think, I need a new start kind of thing. It was one of the most difficult conversations I ever had with the coach. And I'm like, damn, this has been home. It has been home in so many ways. And, it's still home to this day. I mean, I go to Kansas and I'm welcome with open arms and whatnot. So it's a great place. And when I decided, Coach, I gotta go to a different place and have a new start because just want to start over, and they support it. They support it out everywhere I went, and thankfully, Coach Paris, the coach at Chattanooga at the time, was really good friends with my head coach KU as well. So it was just okay. So we all just know each other here. So it was cool. It was made it easy. I was like, okay, I had many other offers, but I wanted to be somewhere. Just being a KU, the coaches are great. They have a great relationship with the players. I wanted to go somewhere where I knew I would have a great relationship with coach. I didn't just want to do it like many other players do. Okay, I want to go to this school because okay, I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna be doing this. It's just another school to go through it. I wanted to have an experience of a lifetime, where a place where I will go, I'll have great relationship with people. And basketball will come second. It has always been. I will always want to make sure that people near me or people around me are, they have the nicest thing or the greatest experience they could have next to a human being. And so just having a coach that was very supportive and very, really good to me, that made it so much easier. And I transferred to Chattanooga. The rest is history, man.
Basketball-wise, what was it like being coached by Bill Self?
That's my question. I was waiting to ask that one. I'm curious. He's a legend, so I want to hear about your time you had with him.
Telling you, bro, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. That shit is crazy. He's one of those coaches, though. If you're outside of basketball court, you love the dude. He's gonna ride with you to the end, till the wheels falls off. But on that court, there were times I say, "Coach, I fucking hate you." Yeah, and he likes that. He likes it because it was hard, man. He's a tough coach, and he's just he knows basketball. He's very smart, very smart. I mean, he has the championships for a reason. He has everything for a reason because he knows ball. He understands the defense side of it and the offensive side of it. He just knows it all. And when you're not pushing yourself, he's gonna be there to do that. And he's probably one of the best coaches I ever had, because a lot of the players that have been through KU, they say, this coach helped my mental toughness so much. And that's what he does. If you go to KU, once you leave, you see the drastic change in your mental toughness, is because he will push you to that. He will test your very last nerve. And it's like, yeah. You hate him. I hate it. Every day of practice, not every day. But there were times that, okay, practice is fun, but when he wants to be a dickhead, yeah, he was that coach that you look at him and dead in the eye, and you cuss at him, and he'll want you to say it again, and you're gonna do it again, and then you just say, we good.
Did the whole thing at Kansas, you obviously played with great players, coached by Hall of Fame coaches. Mm-hmm. Did the whole thing with the NCAA and stuff ever kind of take the love out of the game for you?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was time I was just, especially through the year, my sophomore year, the second year after I got KU, it was so difficult. I felt like I didn't want to do that basketball shit anymore. I remember few times being on my computer and I'm just looking up job application and shit. I was like, what do I want to do? Because basketball ain't it. And even to this day, I feel like it still affected me a little bit. Not that I don't love basketball. I've been doing this too long. I love it. But it's just like, man, I wish I didn't go through that kind of thing. But because I can see the difference between the love I had then and the love I have now. And again, I wouldn't change it for nothing, because thankfully I'm well disciplined and I'm mature enough to, to have fun with it and still love the sport. Probably not as much as I did then, but I still love it, because this is the game. This is the game that changed my life, gave me so many opportunities. This is the game that gives me the chance to help my family. And so, I mean, you gotta love it. It's good.
So your time, kind of as we said before, that you transferred and you go to Chattanooga and you have this new start when you're there. So tell us a little about it's a process of adjusting to a new program and being in a new place. And from somewhere like Kansas, somewhere like Chattanooga, you're playing over 2 times as much, you're scoring 2 times as much, you're a much more vocal part of the offense and team. So what's that adjustment like, going from being a younger, smaller player on a bigger school to a bigger player on a smaller school?
They call Kansas and them are powerful fire or whatever school, powerful school or whatever they call it, however they call it, for a reason. It was. I remember once the day I landed, or arrived in Chattanooga campus. It was like a span of 2 or 3 weeks that I felt like I was depressed. Just like how the difference was. It was just like you way up there, you have everything, KU. Then you go to a place, okay, you have basketball, you have a gym available, you have basketball, you have gym available, you have a weight room, you have this classroom, then you have a dorm. But then it's like, wow, it's completely different. It was great, but man, it was just there's levels to this shit. So it was just hard to adjust. It was really hard. I remember my girl just always checking in on me and saying, "You okay?" I was just like I couldn't cope with the difference, and but it was great in the way that I was able to reboot myself. Just give me a brand new start. Went to a place where nobody knew me basically on a campus where I was able to walk around, not have people just randomly like recording, just people actually treating me as a human being. People treating me as a just another player kind of things, and I like that. So it was great in that aspect, and playing time, the just taking the leader role of being vocal. I like to talk, but being the leader of that team and have the voice and bringing the presence to that program was great. And that's what I always cherish. It was great experience all around. It was great to have that experience in KU and in Chattanooga, because I think now I look back in Chattanooga, and it made my pro career so much easier to adjust to whenever, because we pros, we always going to different places, and some places are better than the others, as far as living experience and blah blah. So I think Chattanooga prepped me for that, and now wherever I go, I'm comfortable because I've already had the worst of it. Not the worst of it. I've had this similar experience, so I'm okay with that.
Right. And so you had all this success at Chattanooga, and at what point are you now thinking about the next step and what comes next and where you're going to play professionally, and how did that kind of work, maybe like signing your first professional contract out of college?
It was, for some reason, I remember finishing my year at Chattanooga, and I was very calm, and I was just like, I didn't stress or anything, and I remember just waking up, okay, now what? I'm done with college, so now what? And got with the nation, signed with the nation, had this all NBA, process going, the NBA draft, the NBA whatever going on, and NBA workouts and whatnot. Did all that, but then it was just like, okay, I don't wanna go through that. So that's when I told my agent, listen, let's look overseas. And then I talked to my dad as well. My dad played overseas for many years, and he's also a FIBA Hall of Famer. So I was like, my dad had a great career overseas. I don't see why not. Why would I stay in a place where I have to pay for literally everything when I could go to a place where, I'm gonna have a great career. I'm not, because I'm the kind of player that I personally think that if I would have been in the NBA team and not have it playing time, I would probably be sick to my stomach. I would be so sick, and I would hate myself for that. I want always to be on the court. That's the kind of thing I like to do, being on the court, because I have always felt that my playing time have been taken away from me for so many years, for so long, that I should be on the court. Now that I'm able to play, I should be on the court every time.
Right.
And so I told him, I want to be somewhere where I'm gonna play, no matter what. No matter if the experience is good or bad, but I want to get minutes. And so that's when I decided to tell my agent, listen, let's look overseas and say, and went to France, and France was great. France first year with France, great, man. I was living lavish with that.
Yes, yeah, so your rookie year in France, you go over there and you play 33 games, averaging about 17 minutes a game.
Yeah.
How was France's first league, and how did you adjust to moving overseas?
I think no, I couldn't have picked a better way to start my pro career, because coming from the U.S. to France is like a similar league to the U.S. It's a very athletic league, and the playing style is just like I would say like a better G League, if that makes sense. So I think that was great in a way to just kind of slowly get me into the European style of play. And then had decent year. I don't want to say a good year. I don't think I had a good year, but I had a decent year, and it was great being there to start with. It was just great in a way just to get me into the pro chapter of it. Then when I went to Greece, moving on to Greece, it was good because I had a really really good playing time in Greece, and then I just kept playing. I was struggling first half of the season, just because I couldn't adapt. I think coming from France to Greece was just like, okay, the game here is completely different now, because it was more European, just like a very defensive kind of game. I'm like, it was difficult. So it was a lot of steps I had to kind of figure it out. But I had a great second part of the season, so it was great in that way.
And you played in Euro Cup in Greece.
Yeah, Euro Cup.
How was Euro Cup competition like?
I loved it. I loved the Euro Cup games. Yeah, it was just you just playing with the other teams outside of Greece was great. So that really made me feel like, okay, this is my second year has been the best one so far.
Right, and then after your year in Greece, you probably get calls from all different types of places, and then Israel comes up on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
What about Israel caught your eye? Did you speak to anyone before coming, knowing the situation here? How was that adaptation like coming out here?
No, I think it's crazy to think about, because I remember being on the phone with the many. It was the year before I went to Greece. I think I had a few offers, and Kiryat Ata was also wanted me, but it was too late when they come into the radar, because I had already signed. And then this past summer, we started talking again, many other different places that I could have gone, but it was just how good of a people they are. The coaches, it's a family thing, and like I said earlier, I like being in a place where I know I'm gonna have great relationship with people, instead of being a place where they will treat me as if, oh, it's just another player that's coming by. I don't like that. And so they were great people, and I knew right away, okay, I'd rather go here than go somewhere else that are gonna give me a lot of money. It's still early in my career. The money will come, but I wanna make sure I'm building that relationship with people again. And
it turned out to be a great move.
I'm having the best pro career so far. So it's thanks to the opportunity here. I understand that I didn't reach as far as I would like to in the league, but it is great that we stay in the league. But otherwise, it's still very like a great experience. Just having the best year of my career here, and playing professional in Israel. Israel has been a blessing, I'll tell you that, because before we moved to Israel for the last 10 months, my wife and I, we have been trying to get pregnant, and we couldn't. We moved to Israel, it's the Holy Land, and I'm Christian, so we moved to Israel, and we have been blessed. My wife is pregnant, and she about due in a few months, and I'm just like, okay, I guess we came here for a reason. We were guided this way for a reason, and I just think it's a great place. Forget the war. Don't forget the war. I don't want to sound like ignoring or anything, but yeah, the war was bad, but it's not as bad as people would talk about when I was in the States. It's not as bad as people think when you're outside of it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. We hear that all the time.
I never left. I was here the whole time.
No, but I'd love to hear more about what you're saying.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to hear more about it because you say you go to America and you hear all these different things. Israel's this, Israel's that.
Yeah, Israel.
And then you come here, talk about your life in Israel and how great it's actually been.
It has been great. I always tell our family, especially the family members, because this is your loved one. They're going there and they reading on the news every day. The war situation, the missiles and whatnot. I'm like, it's just another firework. Missiles are fun, actually, but yeah, it's just make sure that we just make sure that we, I'm making a decision. Me and my wife, we're making a decision for us. Forget the family. It's us at the end of the day, and yeah, our friends but Israel is not as bad. It's bad though, You're watching the news, you're reading. I'm like, forget the news. If it's bad, we're gonna see for ourselves. And if it's as bad as they're making it sound like, then we're gonna leave. It's as simple as that. But it's been great, man. Great experience. I love the place here. I love Jerusalem. I love Tel Aviv, and I love Nazareth. I love all those places. How can you not be okay with Israel? It's a holy land.
No, we agree that's what we want to do. That's why a big reason why we started this show is we want to show people what it's like to play here and how amazing the league is and living here is too.
I will say the one thing I don't like about Israel is the cost of living.
Yeah, I know that. Tel Aviv, it's tough, crazy, man.
But out here in Israel, we talk about off the court, but on the court, it's the most you've ever played by far.
Oh yeah,
it's the most you're scoring by a lot as well. You're rebounding like you do with Angola. And also, the end of the year, you guys add Dre, and you guys in the relegation round go 5-1. And you guys have an amazing end of the year.
This is probably the most time I've spent on the basketball court through the season. I don't remember the last time I played 30 minutes, unless I was in high school. But
do you think the love to the
high
game?
School, college, professional, college, and the pros, I don't remember the last time I played 30 minutes, 28 minutes a game every
night. You think the love of the game has really...
Yes, definitely boosted a lot this year. And I've been feeling great, man. I've been feeling great. So
thank God.
It's good to hear.
Being able to be out here and play with the many guys that I have also played in college, and just really being on the court, it makes me happy. It makes my heart just feels very happy, and I'm just glad I got the opportunity to do that in Israel. So
might need to stay in Israel a few more years.
Hey, if the opportunity come again, then I'll stay.
All right,
heartbeat.
Yes,
good.
Sir.
Good to hear. Before we wrap up, we do this segment, the shot clock segment. So we're gonna put up a little timer for you.
Yeah.
We're gonna ask you some questions.
All right.
And we'll see what you got. I'll set it up for us.
All right, sounds
we're ready. But we're really happy to hear that. That's all we want to hear, and that's, I guess, what I said again. It's awesome for us to be a part of that and to be a platform for people to talk about that.
For sure.
That's great for
us.
And
I personally think I've seen you guys post all over the social media, and I do want to encourage y'all to keep doing that, because part of the reason why I did the last amateur, the documentary, is because I feel like in college a lot of players at the time didn't have the voice, and you guys are here doing those things, just having people talk and creating this community, and it's great that people get to see the other side of basketball players, and because usually people mistaken us with the who we are to what we do, because basketball players is just what we do. It's not who we are, and you guys are giving opportunities to people to know who we are instead of what we just do.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. We like that. We'll that'll how we'll start the episode.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. John, you ready? You got some questions?
Yeah. You ready?
All right, I'll put up a clock. We'll do 24 seconds.
All right.
That's all you got. So you got to be fast. You can say skip if you don't want to answer.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Favorite country?
Greece.
If you weren't playing basketball, what'd you be doing?
I'll be astronaut.
What do you pack for every road trip?
Shoot. My basketball shoes and underwear.
Favorite food?
Love Mexican food.
Best basketball movie?
Love and basketball.
Dream teammate could ever play with?
Ooh.
It's the last one, so
I
take
skip.
your time. Take your
last
time.
one.
That's
Take
it.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Dream teammate.
Dead or alive?
Astronaut. I like that answer.
Yeah,
As a first. I like that.
My dream teammate would be his name is Ron, and I play with him in Greece. Not in Greece, in France. Sorry, I forgot. Play with him in France. He was my captain. That man is good. He's nice, and I just love his personality. So I think he would definitely be.
Good
That's
answer.
awesome.
Dude, we appreciate you coming on and telling your story. It's like all we want to do, as I keep saying.
Mm-hmm.
But best of luck, best success. Congratulations with your family. I hope everything goes
Thank
well.
you. Thank
and
you.
Thank you for coming on. Best luck, whatever happens next.
Thank you guys for having me, man. It was great to be out here. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Hey, all right. That was good, man.
Yeah, y'all got me in the hot seat. I was over here sweating.